This is a 2015 Nissan Juke, and I like saying that. It's just such a fun word to say, Juke. And it is a refreshed vehicle. There's a new front fascia, projector beam halogen headlamps, new tail lamps, but of course the elephant in the room is this. Nissan's calling it a color studio. There are different choices of accent colors. And coming up next on the Fast Lane car, almost everything you ever want to know about the 2015 Nissan Juke.
Ken Compt, Director of Product Planning for Nissan North America.
All right, Kent, we're here in Northern California looking at the brand new, I'm gonna say it, Juke. I just love that name, Juke. And one of the cool things about this, obviously, is the colors.
That's exactly right, Roman. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Juke is one of the vehicles in the Nissan lineup that has really the biggest personality. It's kind of quirky, kind of funky, and we've got a lot of loyal followers that like this car. So new for 2015, as you mentioned, there's the Color Studio program, and that involves 12 different accessories, that a customer can equip it with in 8 different colors, and they can choose any of the different color accents, as many or as few as they like, and it's all about personalization.
I mean, this is pretty crazy, right? I mean, you're looking at like a hot orange with a gray, but it works.
It does. We've seen, red with blue, we've seen blue with white, we've seen yellow with black, so I think it just opens up endless possibilities.
And how does that work? Say I have a Juke and I want to kind of pop it by adding this Color Studio to it. Do I go to the dealership and say, hey, I want the orange wheels, or is that something you put on the car?
Exactly. You can actually go to the dealer, or some of them you can purchase after the fact and have the dealer install them for you. They're 8 different colors, 12 different options.
Okay, all right, so you can have one or all 12.
Right, on a one or all 12. So I should have said it starts around $300.
Okay, and then goes up from there.
And it goes up from there.
More.
Right.
And the Juke does look a little bit different for 2015. I noticed these lights are a little bit different, and so are the headlights. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, this is the mid-cycle freshening. So again, we want to keep the product fresh for the customer. So maybe if we start with the front.
Yeah, let's start with the front. We'll work our way back.
If we start with the front, if we go with the front, we have kind of a more aggressive front end. We've changed the grille. This chrome piece is more prominent, and we've got LED signature combination lamps. I think that's pretty popular with new models on the market. And then...
is this the new corporate boomerang effect right there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think it drew inspiration from the Z car.
Okay.
Having the boomerang headlamps first. And then towards the rear of the car, it has a more aggressive lower fascia area, and again, that's also where you can dress it up with some of the color parts from the Color Studio.
And this car came from Europe, right?
Yeah, originally the vehicle was designed with Europe in mind. It's the second best-selling vehicle we have in the Nissan lineup in Europe.
Really? So how many units do you know how many you sell in Europe? Or am I asking?
About 150,000.
150,000 a year. And how about here in America?
We sell, between 30 and 40,000.
All right.
A year.
All right, and are there any changes under the hood for 2015?
Under the hood, this has our second generation of the 1.6 liter turbo. So there were some changes made, for internal engine friction improvement. There was a slight change to the turbocharger. The compression ratio went up. So, we gained 3 things out of that. The torque comes in at 400 RPMs lower than it did with the previous engine.
A
little bit more pep. We have 1 mile per gallon improvement across the board, city, highway, and combined. You know, and then the CO2 emissions are reduced, and now it meets European Euro 6 regulations.
I'm going to ask you another question. What's the combined number?
City is 28.
Okay.
Highway is 32,
right.
And combined is 30.
That's great. That's really great. And you were kind of the first people in this segment, right? Now Honda's got an HRV coming out, Mazda has one, but you were kind of the first guys to go to this kind of small crossover.
Right. You know, I think crossover started as, you know, big off-road utility vehicles, and then they've really kind of morphed into serving a lot of different purposes for a lot of different customers. So this is one that, you know, is a little more limited in space, but I think it makes it agile and makes it fun, you know, especially with the engine that we have, especially for a young customer.
And has there been any increase in price?
We've had a slight increase in price because we've taken some standard content. So here, first of all, we have a standard intelligent key.
Okay.
So this is where it's keyless entry, and you walk up and just push the button and it opens the door for you, unlocks the car for you. We have a new display audio system that's standard, that includes a rear camera, you know, and then we also have some Sirius XM subscription services like travel, movie times, stock, and others.
So there are some upgrades on the interior. I love how you can add the color to like the surrounds for the events. That's really cool.
Exactly, and then we even have some, you know, trim around the carpets there.
Yeah,
you know, and you're completely free to choose whether you want a different, like this matches orange with the interior and the exterior, but it could be any combination you like.
All right. And in terms of availability, is it out now, the 2015, or is that still coming?
It's at dealerships now.
All right.
It's been on sale for a couple weeks.
Okay, and same layout where you can get the front wheel drive in a manual, and then the all-wheel drive in the automatic. That hasn't changed.
Exactly.
All right, and what's your personal favorite part of the car?
I like the turbo engine and this new bright yellow color that we have that I think you're going to take a look at
it's
next.
A canary yellow almost.
Exactly.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Roman.
Perfect. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you.